right, good Sunday morning for you peoples. Let's jump in here for YieldMax Group D with Msty, the goat Msty. All right, that's kind of the ringleader. For those of you that didn't catch it, I just put out a video on how to hedge Msty. By popular demand, people have been asking me right and left. Every time I do something on Msty, price projection, retire, etc., they're all like, well, I'm a little scared. I want to go in more, but what about this and what about that and what do you think? And so I said, listen, I'm doing a hedging video, and boy, it took longer than I thought, people. I'm gonna get through this quick, but it took a lot longer than I thought. I went through every machination, every possibility in my mind for hedging, and I showed you a lot of data. So that one is worthwhile. If you didn't catch it, you own Msty, you've thought about it, watch that one for sure. I did one a year ago, but the deep dive was not there to the level that it is on this. And frankly, there's more options in the marketplace, no pun intended. All right, so let's jump in here. So we have I should color code these. I normally do, but I put a separate bar in, but a couple times I let one slip, but I reorganize it so you don't have that problem. Everything on the top here is monthly, the red being the inverse, and everything down below is weekly. The problem with my weeklies is the monthly is easy. Last time it paid is the previous month. But down here, you're constantly having to move around. So I need to figure a better method and, have a link to a different spreadsheet where it last reported. It's just kind of a pain on the weeklies. All right, let's jump in. Aply, how did Aptly do? Well, the first thing I do is try and look at the IV. The IV is around 29 and a half. And what has it paid over, say, the last 3 months? Well, it's paid 34, 30, and 65 in May. My gosh. Now, how has the stock done from the previous declaration month? Well, it's down 94 cents from 13.95 to 13.01. Not going to get 65 cents. Not going to take it all the way to 30, but it could go that low. I've got it at a 36.47 yield. So let's just go with 36 and a half. Amzy, I know a lot of people still love Amzy. We have a 22-cent gain. It's in the green by 22 cents, 15.97 on the weekend before declaration versus a 15.75. So what is it paid the last 3 months, and what's the IV? Well, the last 3 months it's paid 79.48 and 41, and the IV is around 32%. So I've got it paying more toward the low end at 47. So higher than 41, higher than 40, slightly below 48, and certainly not what last month was. So 47 cents. Diso. See what Diso has got. Oh, Diso is up $1.32 from 8.84 to 10.16. Diso is on the move. I even scanned Diso for some of their collections, some of their calls, and some of their synthetics. I don't do it to a detail level of daily like I do on Pulte and Coney, but enough to know they've got some money there. So I've got them paying higher than anything here in the last 5 months. I've got them at 57.5, which is a 50.152. Okay, and you know that their IV, well, and I haven't updated some of these. I bet you their IV is 30. So that's what you got, people. 45 cents on XYZY. Where is that coming from? Well, it's kind of right in the trend. If you average these last four, probably get 46 cents. What did they do on? Oh, I had interesting. The other one was up 1.4 on Diso, still a big up move, but I read you numbers from XYZY, the 1016, up $1.32. Actually, Diso was up more, $1.40, but on a bigger number. So that's impressive. Let me see if I want to make that XYXZ. What did I do? I'm going to leave it at 45. AIYY, the NAV king, the NAV erosion king. Has it stabilized? It was 445 in April, 485 in May, and now in June declaration or in the weekend, it's 488. So trending up a little bit. I got it lower than these two payments, but above April. Probably will be 27, but I'm going to go with 29.5, guys. It's a guess. All right, Misty the Goat. I think I got everybody's attention for this one. Well, I do track the sheets. I don't report them on daily because they just do so many trades. But I think they've got money to pay. Well, I think they got close to 150, 145, 150. But they're not going to pay 100% of that. They just simply aren't. Um, this could be, let me show you this. Whoops. I did not grab the screen that I wanted to grab. Here is where, there it is. All right. This is the payments of Misty's history. Started at 412, 252, $3, 233, 194, 185, 4, 4, 3, 2, 2, 137, 133. So the question, my good friends out there, and 237, do we break? There's 2 out of 3 have been a 133 and a 137. Remember, it's lower in its price range. It's been below 20 a few times, but it's never been at 20 and 21 and 22 for this long. So I'm not going to be the one to tell you they're going to set a new low. I'm going to chicken out and go 134. They could pay 133 again like the other. But I don't know if they'll give you a new low and they'll go in the 120s. Could they? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it is the GOAT. It is 34%. If you watch my hedge, how to hedge Misty video, I went through the ARMs again, assets under management. It is just a monster. All right, SMCY. And also, in all fairness, the IV, I did look currently on this, and it's like 59.05. The IV is not as high as a lot of times it is. SMCY, now they've got a high IV. And so Misty dropped from 25.14 to 21.55. So it's down. But then so is the payment, 134 from 237. I think it's in the 120 to 150 range, in all honesty. I just don't see them paying 150. All right. So SMCY, 150, 141, 197, 209. What did they do in the gain or loss? They're up 96 cents, almost a dollar. So I feel the 189 is justified. I'm going to move through a little quicker. All right, YQQ, 49 and a half. They've had 340 payments, 3 mid-40 payments. I've got them up, and I don't know why, because they dropped minus 104. Do I need to lower that? I might. Well, I'm going to do 140. I'm going to do 47. Wntr. Okay. This one's a little harder. They did a 271, but they had about 6 weeks, right? They launched in, like May 27. And so they paid in May. So they had a lot of time to make that payment. They're doing pretty good on the collection. I watched this one also. They have the money in there to pay more, but I don't think they will. I think it drops because they're down 109 from the change. I got them dropping. I mean, it could be 223. Maybe I should make this 219. 71.30. All right, I'm going to move through these last ones quickly. Your guess is as good as mine, peoples. I mean, I try to analyze this, but these are harder. They really, really are. Although some, to me, Ulti gets pretty easy. It's 8 cents or 9 cents. I mean, with an occasion, what did it get to? No, I had 11 one time, and it was like 10.50. So 8, 9, or 10 cents. Maybe it breaks down and gets a 7 or hits an 11, right? 7 come 11. All right. I've got 19 cents for YieldMax. I've got 9.7 cents for YMAG. That's the one where you go back to Group C and you look and I don't know. I don't like it. Lethargy, I think, is easier because it's got a lot of crypto. It's got AI. These aren't the previous payments, guys. These weeklies, I need a better method to refer because they're all spread out across the groups because they pay every week. So I'm not as organized as I need to be on that. So I can't even tell you on that. So I got 43 cents. Gaputi, I got 28.7. S Diddy, the S&P, I got 23 and a half. Q Diddy, I got 28.41. R Diddy usually is the bigger payer of these guys, 31.5. I've got Ulti kind of right in the middle, 8.5 cents. And I got Chippy, the semiconductor, at 38 cents. All right, peoples, that's what I got for you. Everybody was up, but the only one that kind of stood out was S Diddy. Well, I take that back. Caputi kind of stood out. I don't know. I'm going to just leave what I got, people. I think it's close enough. I had a good week in predicting last week. Really, really close on several. I basically hit about 3 or 4 and close on my overall numbers. But again, we shall see. All right. This is Bruce with Targeted Wealth Creation. These are my estimates. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Have a great rest of your weekend. And if you have time and you're interested in how to hedge Misty, take a look at it. I guarantee you, you will learn something you didn't know before you look at that video. It's that detailed and that comprehensive. All right, guys, bye. And maybe you see something that I was asking for help for. Anyway, bye for now, peoples.